You have to watch this movie. Woman knew something was lurking behind the mirror in her bathroom. But what? Samantha Hartsoe says wondering was giving her the chills.
There was cold air blowing. Not just I'm chilly, like you could see in the video, blowing my hair.
You can see my hair blowing in the cold wind.
It was freezing. And I was like, well, this isn't gonna fly. Like, I can't live like this. So I was like, I have to find out where the air's coming from.
So one day she pulled the mirror off the wall and discovered there was no wall behind it. That explains why she felt cold air, but where was it coming from? She masked up and went in.
What's wrong with me? It's freezing in here.
What she found was an empty apartment. It's a good thing no one was living there, or they would have gotten quite a surprise from Samantha. She posted the eerie video to TikTok where many people were intrigued at yet another crazy thing that was found in a New York City apartment.
What they look like?
The F that bug.
Well, it was only a matter of time. That is a species of longhorn beetle. There's like 35,000 types of whatever the hell this is, but this comment says it's a chirping longhorn, so I'm gonna just go with that. Longhorn beetles are famous for two things. Number one, they do not like to be touched, which is why they usually sound like Satan's plumbing. And number two, they're incredibly dangerous. But not to us, because these beetles are one of the biggest ops a tree can have. Since their larvae feed on plant tissue, they often destroy trees from the inside. Adult longhorns will actually girdle the tree branches to turn it into a nursery for their children, which is why the Asian longhorn beetle is one of the worst invasive species in America, since their kids end up killing more wood than erectile dysfunction. In the United States, this longhorn hell spawn is a threat to a third of the urban tree species, which ends up costing us, get this, over $600 billion in damage. You might be wondering how something so destructive even ended up here in the first place. That's easy. Us. We basically Ubered them here. They were accidentally introduced to the US and Canada in 1996 through woodpacking material shipped from Asia. And the bastards have been wilding out ever since. Oh, and they can fly. Cause why the not?
Controversial cartoon episodes that were banned, Part 5. In a 2003 episode of SpongeBob SquarePants, it is time for Gary to have a bath, but as usual, the snail does not want to take it. Frustrated, SpongeBob tries various tricks to get Gary into the tub. The episode was banned in Australia and United Kingdom for two reasons: the "don't drop the soap" gag involved in the script,
Look, doubloons! Don't drop them!
and the picture of a strange, crossed-eyed girl that suddenly appear with a scary giggle.
Oh. Oh, and they're gone. Is he getting closer? Because I'm getting scareder. Is he going back? No, he's staying right. What the fuck is going on, man? Okay, and now we're gonna, yeah. Oh my gosh, dude. It's not even like a jump scare. It's just naturally unsettling as hell. I'm oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! It's gonna kill me. It's gonna kill me. Y'all. Oh my god.
La mañana, cabrón. Mírala. Jugando memes como siempre. Chicas, no mames, no. No mames, no mames, no mames. Mira esa madre. No mames. ¿Qué verga es eso?
Daisy, Daisy.
Give me your answer, do.
I'm half crazy.
All for the love of you.
Harold was my favorite story from Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark 2, and the plot twist So the story goes there were two brothers, Alfred and Thomas, who owned some cows in the valley, but when it got hot in the summer, they would take the cows up to the mountains where it was cooler. Alfred and Thomas began to get bored of their everyday life, just waking up, going to work in the fields, and then going to sleep, so one day they decided to make a doll. They made this really ugly, human-sized doll, and they named it Harold, after a farmer named Harold that they really didn't like. They stuck Harold out in the field like a scarecrow, and when they would get angry or have a bad day, they would take it out on Harold, punching and kicking him. When it rained, they would take him inside to make sure he didn't get ruined, but they would end up just beating him up inside, sometimes even smushing food on his face, and screaming obscenities at him. Well, one day the boys were picking on Harold, and they actually heard Harold grunt. They chalked it up to maybe a mouse got inside Harold when he was out in the fields, and they just left it at that. They stuck him in a corner of their cabin and just left him there, and for days and days he just sat there in the corner. Until one day, Harold got up and walked out of the house. He climbed up onto the roof and started trotting around like a horse. The brothers could hear his footsteps above them, trotting. After doing this for a while, he got off the roof and went and just stood in the field, just standing there. The brothers were terrified, so they took their cows and they decided to go back to the valley and just leave Harold behind. But when they were a little ways down the road, they realized that they left something back at the house. Thomas decided he would go back to the house and Alfred would just wait for him and he would catch up with Alfred eventually. So Thomas headed back to the house and Alfred continued down the road. Once Alfred got to a hill in the road, he looked back at the house in the mountains and he didn't see Thomas, but instead he saw Harold up on the roof, laying out a bloody skin to dry in the sun.
You, I mean, God was ready where you're moving to. Just pick the right path and you can choose. Keep grinding like you got nothing else to lose. And when you get hit with them dagger days, when you stand and pray, looking for the answer to find a way, cause you hate in life and you can't explain emotions that you're going through. Something's holding you, you've been shown the proof, so you know it's true, it's not overdue. So just put in the work and then blow up the roof.